Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast. I am Sapna Kataria, a member at Nishit Desai Associates. Joining me today is Vasvi Kapati, a leader at Nishit Desai Associates. In this episode, we will delve into the concept of Dabba trading and its regulatory landscape in India. Recently, Dabba trading has made headlines as the National Stock Exchange has cautioned investors against individuals and entities offering trading services through Dabba trading. The National Stock Exchange has also cautioned investors against Instagram handles and Telegram channels that have been found offering investment tips. Before we explore how India deals with Dabba trading, Vasvi, could you please explain what Dabba trading actually entails?
Hi Sapna, sure. Dabba trading, also known as box trading or bucketing, is an illegal and unregulated form of trading in securities. This involves executing trades in financial instruments such as stocks, commodities, or currencies without these trades being recorded on any official stock exchange registered with the Securities and Exchange Board of India. Dabba trading typically is executed between two categories of participants: the punters, who are the investors, and the Dabba operators. The Dabba operators act as the middlemen between the investors and the market, communicating over applications such as WhatsApp and Telegram, making it almost impossible for authorities to track them. They register these bets and settle them out of market.
Understood. So you must already be aware, but interestingly, the term Dabba trading has been derived from the term Dabba, which refers to informal network of operators who conduct off-market wagers and securities, just like a network of Dabbawalas. It is an undisclosed or off-the-books account employed by these entities or individuals known as Dabba operators to conduct transactions without placing orders on any recognized stock exchange. Vasvi, so is it right to say that it is something similar to gambling? And please could you also provide an example to understand this concept better?
That is right, Sapna. So simply put, it is gambling centered around stock price movements where investors place deals in securities without actually buying or selling these securities on any of the stock exchanges. These individuals and entities bet on the price fluctuations in the market and accordingly gain or lose based on the difference. For example, an individual X places a wager on the share price of company ABC, setting a bet at Rs 700. So if the price of the security of company ABC goes up to Rs 1000, X wins Rs 300. However, if the price goes down to Rs 500, then the Dabba broker will earn Rs 200 as X will have to cover the difference. This is the reason why Dabba trading is also known as a contract for difference, where the broker's profit is equal to the investor's loss and vice versa.
Okay. So it's been said that Dabba trading emerged in the early 2000s as a way for traders to sidestep these regulatory obligations and taxes associated with trading. Could you elaborate on how these transactions evaded scrutiny and eventually came under regulatory radar?
Certainly. This trade is considered illegal because it is not regulated. The traders are not registered with SEBI and it is also very difficult to track this type of trading. Initially, these trades were made over text messages and mobile phones and happened in cash. This process completely avoided any audit trail, as the settlement of the transaction is done by receiving or paying the difference between the price movement of these securities without there being any actual delivery or receipt of these securities. Further, since it is done in cash, it completely avoids the scrutiny of the banking system as well. Over time, it expanded into an intricate and sophisticated network of Dabba traders who started using technology to facilitate these trades. The Dabba traders started using software applications to catalyze the process, track market prices, place wagers, and attract customers. This is how the regulators actually started tracking the Dabba traders.
Okay, apart from these transactions being extremely risky for the investors, wherein the Dabba traders can default on making the payment to the investors without any legal consequences, as there is no oversight on trades, there is also no pricing transparency or any dispute resolution mechanisms. What are the repercussions do you think Dabba trading has?
There are actually several other consequences. For example, since the transaction is carried out in cash, it encourages the growth of black money. It also results in the growth of parallel unregulated economy where money laundering and associated criminal activities are rife. Further, as mentioned earlier, there is a circumvention of regulatory mechanisms such as not complying with the KYC norms, not paying the commodity transaction tax or the security transaction tax that may become applicable.
Okay. Since these activities are not easily traceable, there are not many precedents on the subject. However, SEBI is actively trying to identify, track, and ban these dabba traders. Once identified, these dabba traders are penalized under various provisions of the Securities Contracts Regulations Act 1956. Section 13 and 18A of the SCRA mentions that any contracts in securities, derivatives, that is not between members of a recognized stock exchange is prohibited. Further, Section 17 prohibits the business of dealing in securities except with a license granted by SEBI, and Section 19 also prohibits organizing or assisting or entering into or performing any contract for being a member of a stock exchange that is not a recognized stock exchange. As per the SCRA, the entities or persons that contravene the provisions of the Securities Contracts Regulations Act 1956 are punishable with the imprisonment of a term which may extend up to 10 years or with a fine up to rupees 25 crores or with both. That's right, correct, Mas?
Yeah, that is right, Sapna, and that's very insightful. Thank you for the same. So, dabba traders will also be penalized for criminal breach of trust, cheating, and criminal conspiracy under the provisions of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita as well.
Okay, so these consequences are after the dabba traders are identified. However, from an investor perspective, what can be done to avoid falling prey to these dabba traders?
So, one of the ways is for police to actively use their own intelligence units and informers and conduct raids in identified places. Now, thereafter, once the raid is done, if there is existence of trading in securities on behalf of client without a certificate of registration from SEBI being in place, or if there are kacha or rough records, registers, transaction books, challans, cash receipts, cash book, or any other documents at the premises, or if there is any evidence of cash transactions such as bills, contract notes, which give proof of trading, or if there are software programs which are used for dabba trading, the offenders can be questioned by police and reported to SEBI. From an investor perspective, stock exchanges may also consider using public notices in the leading newspapers to alert public of such things, just like the National Stock Exchange has been doing.
Okay, thank you, Vasvi. Also, just to add on for the listeners, once illegal trading is identified by a person, they can register an FIR with the police. Since dabba trading is a cognizable offence, police will have the authority to investigate and arrest the accused without a court-issued warrant. Further, the state law enforcement authorities may also refer the matter to SEBI for appropriate action. The individuals may also directly complain to SEBI, and SEBI may then take further action, to report to the police authorities. Vasvi, is there anything you would wish to add?
No, Sapna, that is all. I hope this podcast helps the listeners to identify such illegal trading.
Yes, we hope this discussion sheds light on how dabba trading operates. Thank you for tuning in. In case of any queries or clarifications, please feel free to reach out to Vasvi or me.